In a world filled with intergalactic space battles, metahuman destruction on a global scale, and psychopathic serial hauntings, there's only one team who can make sense of it all. When your world is overrun with rampant pop culture, call Loop and Larry, Guardians of Geek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boom!
Gotta
Boom,
love
boom.
that explosion.
We do know it's not a real explosion, though, right?
Well, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. I haven't made a complete decision on that yet. I don't know.
Hey, everybody, I'm Loop.
And I'm Larry.
Yeah, this is Guardians of Geek. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is episode 98.
Woo.
If you're watching this on Rogers TV, this is like episode 7 or 8.
Yeah.
maybe not, maybe 9. I don't know. Maybe 10. I don't know, but we're up there. We're getting there.
That's right.
So yeah, this is exciting. We're only a couple episodes away from our 100th episode.
Yep.
And we got something planned for that. And it's crazy to think that we've been doing this for, I don't know, it's 6 years, maybe 7.
I think this is our 7th year, actually.
Yeah,
holy cow. It's 7 years to do 100. Most normal podcasts do like 100 episodes in like 3 years, maybe. We're just taking our time. We're spacing things out a little bit.
Hey, we don't have a sponsor. We have no commitment to anybody, so we do it when we feel like doing it. All right, that's the way we work. Speaking of someone who did it when they felt like doing it, was Catherine O Hara. This was huge news that I've never seen. Well, first of all, in case you didn't know and you're under a rock, Catherine O Hara has passed away. Maybe like a week ago now.
Yeah, it was about a week ago. But you're right. Like the outpouring, I can't remember a single celebrity that has had this much love after they've passed than Catherine O Hara has. I don't remember ever seeing for 24 hours after she passed, my entire feed, like Facebook and Instagram, was all Catherine O Hara. From people I didn't know, from people I'd never heard of. It was just like story after story after story. It was remarkable. The impact that she made was just outstanding. It was a huge loss.
And the thing that threw me off was I'd see people that were younger being like, "Oh my God, she's an icon." I'm like, "How do you know Catherine O Hara?" But I forgot she was on Schitt's Creek, which was a huge show for that generation, for like a younger generation, and she sort of was in something that's been famous for Home Alone and all these kind of famous things. And of course, for us, SCTV is where we discovered her. Yeah, but she's been in everything, and it's so awesome to see that.
It is. And she actually was just in the second season of The Last of Us. So
that's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's literally she's spanned generations. I mean, she was in SCTV when we were in public school, I guess. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So we would have been, less pre-teens, so now our kids are seeing her. My son watched Schitt's Creek and watches The Last of Us. So but everybody grew up with Home Alone, and everybody grew up with Beetlejuice. So, you know what I mean? Those are just staples in the pop culture world. So, and she was just amazing in everything, everything she did. I did a mini movie marathon that night of all the 3 Christopher Guest movies, The Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, and A Mighty Wind, because she was in all 3 of those. And those are my favorite of her bodies of work. I mean, I love her and everything. Literally, I could, if she was one of those actresses, if her name appeared as, that she was going to be starring in something, I would see it, because I know she would be funny in whatever it is. But those 3 particular movies I've watched dozens of times, and she is absolutely hysterical in those. But she's also in Mighty Wind, she was much more serious. So she had quite a range. It was remarkable, the work that she did, and it was I think the big thing, it was such a shock. Nobody knew that she was sick, so it just came out of the blue. It just literally, nobody expected that, I mean, Yeah, so it was that it actually hit me kind of hard, that one.
Yeah,
But
and I mean, I grew up with her, and
yeah,
I just finished watching The Studio like literally a week
yes,
before,
yep,
and she was on that, and it was just like she's just such a great actress, and just yeah, like takes material that maybe isn't so strong, and she can make it so much stronger.
yeah,
She's just so good at what she does. It's just amazing, and again, like SCTV, like there's so many characters and so much she did on that show. It's worth going back if you've never seen it to explore that show again. It's all on YouTube, but she's
yeah,
just so good, just so good at
yeah,
everything she did. So it was a huge loss, and the fact that you saw her everywhere, she was even at the Westminster Dog Show, they did like a tribute to her
yes.
because she
Seriously,
was in Best in Show. I'll never
yeah.
be able to take that show seriously after seeing Best in Show, but she's just so good at everything she does.
Yeah, yeah, it was amazing the impact she made on the world. So what's nice is that she left such a legacy of work, like that
Yeah,
we do have so much. Like there's no way you could watch everything that she's done in her 71 years. I
yeah,
mean, it was, in her 50 years of being, on screen. There's no way you could watch it all, which is great because then you can still discover stuff that she's done, all these years later and still see something new that you hadn't seen before.
yeah.
It's just a remarkable career and a remarkable life, and yeah, that was a big loss for everybody, I think.
I mean, she'll be missed for sure, 100%. And she like her impact is like gonna live on because it's she just was so good at what she did.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah.
All right, on that note, yeah, do you want to head to Top Pop?
Oh, sure, let's do that.
Hey kids, it's time for Luke and Larry's Totally Tubular Top Pop!
All right, here we go. This is Top Pop, where we just talk about anything that's like that we're into right now, or stuff that's going on in the industry. And Larry, let's start with you. What's happening right now?
Well, I mean, we've talked about my love of the Muppets in the past because I am just such a massive fan. And when I heard that they were going to try a reboot, uh, everybody's a little cautious because they're like, well, what does that mean? What are they going to do? Are they going to try to change things? Are they going to, but it was Seth Rogen, and I really like Seth Rogen. And so I thought, okay, you know what? This might be okay. Well, the first, they're referring to it as a backdoor pilot
Yeah,
because what they're saying is that this single episode, if it does well, they'll turn it into a series. So it just dropped, the week before we're recording this podcast. And I gotta tell you, I could not have been more excited and happier with the product that Seth Rogen created. It is it is exactly like the original. They didn't mess with it. They
yeah,
recreated the set. They brought back all the Muppets, as many original voices as are still around, and the style of the show, and Statler and Waldorf in the box heckling. It's all there, and I was just like, "This is the most glorious thing." But now it's all in HD, like it's all full screen. Like the
yeah,
stage is bigger, and but they so on top of that, they started the show with this most beautiful montage of essentially reopening the Muppet Theater, and it was beautifully shot. And then there was this like moment where Kermit's walking down the hall looking at pictures of old hosts from the old episodes, and I was just like, this is so great. And then they just sort of made fun of the fact that there was a music montage and then went right into the show. It was so great. I've literally watched it 3 times
Oh my God.
in the like 4 days that it's been out. I just keep going back and watching it. I just love it.
No, I love that. I'm a huge Muppet fan, and I was like
Yeah.
excited about. I like the one where they did it was kind of like The Office.
Yeah.
Like I thought
Yeah.
that was a really funny show, but this
Yeah.
is like the classic Muppet show, and it was great. I thought it was fantastic. I loved it. Sabrina Carpenter was a great first guest because
Really
she's
good.
like obviously super popular, but she's also great like at doing comedy. I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw her Christmas special that was out like a couple years ago, but it was very funny. Like it was really well done.
Yeah.
And she's really good. So she's a perfect person to be in that.
I think
And
so.
Maya Rudolph was hilarious in it too. Like
Oh,
she's like it was just a good like it didn't overshadow the Muppets,
no.
like the people on it, but it was really well done. It was really
Yeah.
cool.
And
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 it's
what I oh sorry. Well,
I was gonna say, and what
yep.
okay,
Go ahead.
what I do like about it is when they do the show and you start seeing clips online, like
Yes.
which means that it affected people in some way, and they're sharing clips of it. And so I thought that they've done their job. If no one had said anything about it, I'd be like a little worried. But you can see clips around going out and around. So I think that it did its job.
And here's the other thing that I loved about this show. So it's a reboot, like it's taking place now. Like Sabrina Carpenter's obviously like super hot right now, and she's like the thing. They didn't make it all for modern audiences. So they had some Sabrina Carpenter songs that like she sang her own song, and that, but then they also had her singing with Miss Piggy Islands in the Stream, like music that was popular when the original show was on. So it was made for the parents who grew up watching the show and their kids who are watching like Sabrina Carpenter. Like they didn't forget the roots of it. So the fact that they had musical number from like the 80s was brilliant. I just thought this is going to be so great. Like it's not all going to be today's music, and I'm not going to know all the new songs. They have something for everybody. It's just awesome. Yeah. Here's my thought on it, because they said that this is a pilot episode, and if it does well, blah blah blah. I think that they knew that it was going to do well. Like I think they knew, because I don't think that they're going to like look at this and say, okay, now we're going to green light a series, because that will take like another year before we see anything. I think they need to keep on the hype of this thing. So my guess is they've probably already shot at least some of a new season of this
probably
thing. Like they might wait a month or something and then they'll launch it. The hype is so big right now. Everybody's talking about it. If they don't do anything now for another year or whatever it takes to create a show, I think they'll lose that hype. And, so I think that they need to jump on this. So my hope is that they already knew how good it was, and they've already created a bunch, and they'll just launch them at some point soon. That's my hope.
Yeah. Because they could do it in 2 batches too. They could do like a 6-episode run and then come back for another 6 or whatever. Exactly. How many, like 5 and 5, or because most series are only 10 episodes anyways now. So like you don't have to do a full 22 episode series. But I already see people like coming up with their dream lists of like people to host it, and like it's insane. Like people are excited about it. I think it's just a fun show, and some of the sketches I don't even know what they were doing in them. Like I honestly was just I'm just watching the Muppets. Like I'm just like, and I can't stop watching the antics, and I'm laughing at just Beaker and whoever it is just doing whatever they do, and or the rats like singing Blinding Lights. It made me laugh. Like it's just I just love how they move and what they look like, and I just like it's just a delight. Like it's a delight's the best way to describe it to me.
That's exactly, and it's a pure escape. There's nothing real world in it. It's just literally a pure escape and just 30 minutes of fun. Like that's what we need, is just 30 minutes of fun every week.
Yeah.
And that's why we do this show, because this show is like an hour of fun every 2 weeks. So that's
and we're kind of like Muppets. So
we are pretty much like Muppets. Yes.
Like I don't even have a lower half. Like it just.
It's true. Yeah, I can vouch for that.
Okay. All right. I think I have everything going on right now. I think we'd be remiss not to talk a little bit about the Oscars, because it's our last episode, which was our year end when we haven't, like, the Oscar nominations have come out and everything else. So what's your take on it? Basically.
I mean, I think it's a pretty strong, we'll talk mostly about the Best Picture nominees, because obviously there's a lot of categories, and I think it's a fairly strong Best Picture grouping. I was a little bit surprised about F1 being in there, but then I thought about it, and I thought, okay, it's the same people who made Top Gun Maverick, and it was nominated at the time. So I kind of feel like they are looking for sort of always like a blockbuster, like a very popular blockbuster, and it was a great movie. Like it was I remember coming out of it thinking that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that movie. I didn't think of it as an Oscar contender, but there it is. But I think that's what they do. But and this is the funny thing, like Loop just finished watching all 10 Best Pictures yesterday. I've only got 2 more to go. But it's the funniest thing, because when they announce the Best Pictures, a number of them are movies that we would never think to go see on our own if they weren't nominated. They're not our genre, or they're not whatever. And then you watch them and you're like, this is great. This is, I can see why, like, why wouldn't I have seen this? So my one pick of that group that falls into that category is Train Dreams. I just watched that. I had never even heard of it. I don't know why. I totally missed the fact that this even existed. I loved that movie. I loved it. I could totally watch it again. First of all, it's only like an hour and a half long. It's short, I think. And I just thought it was beautiful. And it just, it's so, I think the Oscars give you an opportunity to see movies that you just wouldn't normally see.
Yeah. Again, I mean, to really get the full like aspect of it, you'd probably have to watch everything that's been nominated in one way or another. But the 10 gives a pretty good slice of all the different stuff, because there's usually a foreign film in there that's like up for best foreign, and this one has 2 actually. So to me, of the ones I love Begonia. That was one of my favorites. But coming out of nowhere, Sentimental Value. I loved that movie. It was so good.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you everything about it. No, but it. I don't know why, but it blew me away. Like, it was just so good. But they're all, like, I thought they're all good in one way or another. Like, Hamnet was great. Like, they were all like so good. Even F1, which I didn't really want to see, but the only reason I can see it being in this Best Picture is because the way it was shot. Like, I was thinking of the filmmaking process to make this, to be able to put you into a race and into this driver's seat of a race as well. They did a phenomenal job, and I have to give them credit for it. Like, I mean, some of it was kind of standard fare that you would expect for a movie like that, but I thought it was fantastically shot. Like, I thought I walked away. There were scenes where I was like super excited, and I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? Like, it was really good.
Totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. I think it's great. And I was very happy for you that Avatar Fire and Ash did not make the Best Picture this year, because we were convinced that it was going to. So you actually went to see it, because of course
I thought it would for sure.
I thought it would too. But I think because F1 came out this year as well, it had some competition. Like, it wasn't the big blockbuster. It wasn't the only like big scale tentpole movie that came out this year. So it wasn't a lock.
And really, like, when you break down Avatar, I mean, it's a great looking movie for sure, and it's cutting edge, but I will give it that. But I mean, how many times can you nominate the same movie? Like, essentially, it's kind of the same movie as the last one to me. Like, but anyways, it's I thought it's a great like mix of movies. I thought there's a lot there, so it's going to be an interesting Oscars. That's happening on March 15th, of course. Conan O'Brien hosting, which will be great. Yes. And it's my birthday that day too, so it's gonna be good. So
the one thing I am hoping that they do is give a bit of an extended in memoriam to Catherine O'Hara. Now that we're talking about her, I wonder if they will. Like, I wonder if they'll do like a montage or something. Like, they've got enough time now, and she's so beloved. I kind of wonder whether they might do something a little extra rather than just putting her picture on the screen.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. I just would hope that they would, but
sometimes they'll put a few people. They'll put a couple like quick images of some of their stuff if they're huge, like a Robert Redford or somebody that they would. We'll see what they do. I don't know. There's always my favorites the next day when people start complaining about like the 4 people that they left off it. Like it's every year. It would be impossible to get everybody in there. Like it's. Like
exactly. It's like a wedding. You gotta cut off the guest list at some point.
It's like so. And again, like, people are like, oh, why do they put this like writer in there or this like producer or whatever? But you don't know how important they are to the industry, right? Like they could have produced some of the biggest movies of all time, but we don't really know that from the back end unless you're really into producing. So, I mean, all those people are important in some way, shape, or form. Like, it's just as important as the people on screen. So,
yes,
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm still excited, regardless of what happens. I love it.
Yeah. So we'll do our post Oscars wrap up as we usually do, and we'll break it all down. Well, obviously, we usually are buying something that we don't really need. So, do you want to do what did we buy now?
Sure.
All right.
What did we buy now?
All right, here's what do we buy now, because Larry and I are always buying something or doing something, and which usually ends up on our shelves some way, shape, or form. So I'll start this week.
Okay.
Everyone has a collection, if you're a collector of stuff like we do, of like it's kind of a quiet collection, I'll call it. Like, you're not actively looking for it, but you tend to buy it every time that you see it, and then all of a sudden you realize, holy cow, I have a lot of these. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think everybody's got something like that. And so you've quietly amassed a collection.
Okay.
Mine is Billboard magazine. So that's the industry magazine. If you're a big fan of like Casey Kasem, like I was in American Top 40 or the big 80s on 8, they use the Billboard charts to create their weekly charts. So I got the other day, I just got the newest issue. So I got it, which is this one here.
Excellent.
So that's
no idea who that is on the cover. Who is that?
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay.
Oh, that's Bruno Mars. That's like Rose. Okay, sure. I'll just put her over here. So, anyways, I've been buying Billboard every year end issue since 1989.
That's
like
crazy.
So I bought one in 89, then I bought the 90, because 89 was all of the 80s. Like, it was kind of like they had the 89 charts, but they also had the charts for the entire decade.
Oh, cool.
And I just bought it because I was big into music, and I was already kind of reading Billboard here and there. And then I just kept collecting it. And then for a while I subscribed to Billboard for a little bit, but I just kept collecting it, but not even realize I was doing it. So now I've got every issue until like 2025, like the year-end issue for 2025 from 89. And so then I decided, I'm going to go back and just buy a few other issues. So for instance, I bought like the 85 year music.
Perfect. Good.
Oh,
yep. Important.
And then here's the 86 one here.
Excellent.
Things I don't really need, but I just kept buying them. And then, so now I've got every year-end issue from 84 up, because before you couldn't go back and buy these older issues, but thanks to eBay, now I can go back and rebuy them all. So I think I'll try to get at least from 79 up if I can, if that's a possibility. I'm not sure when they started doing the year-end issues. Like this one's the year-end issue for 84, but notice how it's like a lot different. Like, but the charts are in there. So
I mean, 84 was probably around the time when you really started like knowing music and following you, right? Because you're like 13 years old, and so that's probably a good place to start. Like the early 80s is a good place to start. Like, much like in the 70s, you wouldn't have been charting music, right?
No.
So that's awesome. That's like your whole life essentially, like from the time that's really cool. I think that's super cool.
It's just one of those low-key collections, and I'm like, man, I got like every issue from, like, I kind of knew there's always a point where you're like, it's like if you have a streak of something, right? Like, it's like there's a point, like maybe about 7 or 8 in, where you're like, oh, I've got every year-end issue of this, and so then I just kept buying them. And like, there's been times I've had to really search. Now it's a little easier to find stuff, but back then it was a little tougher. Billboard wasn't like everywhere, so I'd have to go to Toronto to get it and things. But I've been working on this collection for a while. Now, what will happen to it when I go and pass away, I don't know, but it's there. It's
no idea. I feel like
100%.
I feel like it would have some value though. Like if you tried to sell it all as like a complete collection from 84 to like 2005 or 2025, like there are people out there who would be like, that is wicked.
Yeah. Especially if you're a music fan, because like the charts are all there, and it's like, it's a great like source. I've opened them up a lot of times because I work at radio too, so like to look up stuff or whatever. But it's a fantastic source of information. But it's like, it's very cool to own. Anyways, that's like, so I just bought the newest one, which was like, I think the shipping was more than the magazine, but it was
probably.
But anyways, it's like, I got them all.
Well, that's the thing. Like, how many people actually buy physical copies of magazines anymore? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're still making them. Like, that's when it'll basically end, when they stop printing it. Like,
it'll go digital. It'll have to go digital at some point. Like, I mean, I can't imagine that they'll continue doing that forever, but maybe they will. I don't know.
Because I don't think even Entertainment Weekly's physical anymore, is it? I think it's.
I stopped because I was collecting those every week, subscribing, and then they went digital, and I stopped because I was like, I want to. If I'm going to have a magazine, I need to hold it in my hand.
Yeah.
So
what about you?
Well, it's interesting that you're talking about music because
Uh-oh.
my my what did I buy this week is also music related,
Oh,
but it's
nice.
also pop culture related.
Okay.
It's an all in one. So as we all know, I'm a huge fan of Stranger Things,
Okay.
which just ended, and I loved the finale. I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. The season itself was sort of a little rocky, but I still really liked it. And one of the things I loved about it was that a bunch of it took place at a radio station
Yep.
called Squawk, WSQK, Squawk. And Robin, one of the characters on there, became like their DJ, and she was Rockin' Robin. Well, I don't know. I think this happened during the run. I got it after the fact, but Target in the States exclusively released a vinyl album. Can you see this?
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it's not showing up very well. The Squawk collection, that is put together. Oh wow, this is gonna be really hard to show.
Yeah.
Uh,
We saw it for a few seconds there.
Back it up. No, I'm gonna have to come closer.
I'll just find
Anyway.
it. You know what? I'm just gonna find a picture and put it up like right
Yeah,
now.
there you go. Yeah. But anyway, it's got but it's got in it like a bunch of like paraphernalia and stuff as well. Like there's well it all fell out. Sorry, stand by. It's
Oh
all on
my-
the floor. Okay, here we go. There's like a really cool like vintage photo of the place. There's a sticker. Beam me up. This place sucks. Like it comes with all these. There's a really cool bumper sticker.
Oh, that's wild.
That it came with.
This comes with a bunch of swag. Then you're saying
Totally, yes.
I work at the radio. That's the kind of stuff we would give away.
Exactly. It comes with like a full size poster that's not going to show at all. But
Yeah, no, I see. That's good. Yeah, there you go.
So it comes with all this stuff, but yeah, and it's like the songs that are on it are I think We're Alone Now by Tiffany, The Magnificent Seven by The Clash, Bicycle Race by Queen, another Brick in the Wall, Wheel in the Sky by Journey, and then of course Upside Down by Diana Ross is in there. Surrender by Cheap Trick, See Those Eyes by Altered Images, Here Comes the Rain Again by the Eurythmics, and The Warrior, Scandal featuring Patti Smith.
Oh, nice.
So that's what's on there. But I was just like, this is really cool. And when you show it here, it's got even like an old fashioned, like as if there was a price tag on it. Like
Oh, nice.
It's just really cool packaging. So
It's very retro and very cool. I like that.
totally retro and really fun. So I had to pick one of those up. So I did.
I bought the T-shirt. Like I bought it when the very first episode. I ordered it like right away from their store, like which I didn't even know they had a store, but they do. And because I feel like if you work in radio, you have to have every like fake radio station.
Yes.
Like I've got a WKRP shirt. I've got the a Simpsons set of their radio station in town.
Right.
Like a toy. I've got and then now this, and then I think there's a Lego version of that radio station as well.
There is. I'm pretty sure there is. Yeah, with the van, like the Squawk van. Yeah, so you might have to get that too.
By requirement, by law, I have to own like at least something from the.
Yeah,
from
I feel like it's in your contract, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That is what we bought now.
That's awesome. I love it. All right, are you ready for the to do the pop capacitor?
I am always ready to do the pop capacitor.
All right, here we are. It's Pop Capacitor. We look back at a TV show, a movie, or a toy, or whatever it is, and we see if it still stands up today. Today's movie is called Stay Tuned.
Yeah.
And it's a movie with John Ritter, the late John Ritter. Pam Dauber was in it from Mork and Mindy.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Jones and Eugene Levy's in it as well.
Talking about SCTV.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's called a fantasy comedy film, basically. It came out in 1992, August 14th to be exact, is the date it came out. And its plot is a suburban couple who are sucked into a television world by an employee of hell must survive for 24 hours in order to be released from it. So that's the basic plot. We'll get into it more as we go. So just to start, Larry, what's some of your initial thoughts of this movie? Like, if you, as soon as you heard we were doing this, which you're the one that picked it, what's your initial, like, what do you remember about it? What's your initial thoughts about it?
Well, so I don't think I ever saw it in the theater. I know I didn't. So I think I only ever saw it when it first came to VHS back in the day, and I think I only saw it once. Like I had vague memory of it, but it was one of those things that it came up on like an Amazon suggestion, the DVD or the Blu-ray, and I was like, oh wow, we haven't. This sounds perfect because it's all pop culture. The whole movie is pop culture. So it was. So anyway, so then we both got the Blu-ray, we both watched it, and like my initial reaction was awesomeness. I was like, this movie is great. I really enjoyed it. It's just dumb fun, but it's really good. And that yeah. Do you want to lead right in? Do you want to lead right into hits, or do you want to?
I'll give my quick. I remember when I watched this. I think I did see this in the theater because I remember like John Ritter was still kind of a star from Three's Company, and I remember it just looked like something I would see. I'm pretty sure I saw this at the theater, but I think I only ever saw it once. I don't think I ever saw it again from that point. I super enjoyed this movie. Like I would call this a hidden gem, like for sure. Like 100%. if you've never seen it. And then anyone have mentioned this too, that that we were doing this, we're all like, oh my God, that movie I watched so many times. And like, it's a movie that's out there that people have watched. If you've never seen it, it's worth a watch for sure. So
absolutely.
We can head into hits and misses. And you can start with a hit.
Sure. Larry? Well, my hit right off the top is pretty much what you already listed, is the people who are in it. I mean, it's got for a early 90s movie, you've got your John Ritter, your Pam Dauber, your Eugene Levy, Jeffrey Jones, and even Captain Lou Albano is in this movie. Like, it's just packed with like TV stars of the era. So it was so fun to go back. Like, it's very dated that way because really, I mean, except for Eugene Levy, none of those people are really in the spotlight anymore. And Jeffrey Jones.
One for various reasons.
Yeah, kind of went off the rails there. But I mean, John Ritter's no longer with us, sadly, because he was kind of like a male version of Catherine O'Hara to me. I just thought he was amazing. I loved everything he was in. And Pam Dauber is so much fun, but I'm not sure really what became of her. And Captain Lou Albano's not with us anymore either. But so it's fun to see all of these people together in one setting, like in one movie. I just thought that alone was fun, just to watch those people.
I when I started watching it, I didn't even know who was really in it. I knew John Ritter was in it, obviously, and Pam Dauber because they're on the cover, but I didn't really know much about it. And all of a sudden Eugene Levy shows up and it's like, and then again, like I was saying before, Canadian, we love him from SCTV, and he's one of those people that could take, again, any material and heighten it, or any character and heighten it for me. So I was very pleased to see him in this, and he was good at it too. He was he was really fun in this movie. So
totally agree.
Yeah, I agree with it. Like, I thought it was a pretty strong cast, especially for that time period. It was really good.
Yeah. All right, what do we got?
Okay, so hits. I'm going to go right to the opening of this movie and the opening music of this movie. Oh. Like, I love the music in this movie. The music had real, like, Tim Burton vibes.
Yes.
Like, real, like, Back to the Future vibes. And I think it sort of set up the type of movie it was.
Yep.
I love that this movie sort of has, just from that music alone, sort of just, like, it sets a certain feel, I guess to say, like certain movies had certain feels at that time, like a Gremlins or like a Back to the Future. And a lot of it was based on the music that used and selected. And this movie had that. And so it felt like that. It had that sort of like warm feeling and a movie that you're ready to watch unfold in front of you. And it was and one that it stuck with me too, as well. Like, it had a real family friendly sort of feel to it, I guess. I'm not sure if I'm explaining this properly, but Yeah, the music really set the tone for this whole movie. I liked it.
Totally. Well, I'm gonna add a fun fact in here. I'm gonna pepper some fun facts throughout.
All right.
Fun fact: you had mentioned that the music kind of sounded Tim Burton-y going in there. Tim Burton was originally chosen to direct this movie, so
that's right.
he was supposed to actually direct this movie, but then Batman Returns came up, and he left this project to go shoot direct Batman Returns. But this was supposed to be a Tim Burton movie, so I feel like you're right on the nose when it comes to the music. That's what they're hoping for. Like they were looking for a Tim Burton-esque kind of feel to the thing. So yeah, it definitely.
And this whole movie has a Tim Burton-ish sort of feel to it. Like it would have maybe been a little darker, maybe if he would have done it, but. It did have a sort of definitely a Tim Burton-ish, like Beetlejuice sort of feel to it. Like,
yes,
so
100%. I'm going to throw another hit in there along the same lines as my first hit. A character or an actor who I love, who Loop and I grew up with, who you really never ever saw, but you heard his voice all the time, was Don Pardo, and he did the voice work for. There's a scene in this movie where they're, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see them behind me. They're sucked into a game show, and Don Pardo does the voice of the announcer for the game show, and he has such a distinctive voice. And like when we grew up watching Saturday Night Live, he was the voice of Saturday Night Live, and I just love his voice. So it was again really nostalgic to hear Don Pardo as part of this as an announcer. They just brought in all the best people of the era, I thought.
Yeah.
Just the funniest and most familiar, and it's just so nostalgic to watch it now and hear those voices. So that was another big hit for me, to hear Don Pardo once again.
And just to set this up a little more, John Ritter's character sort of is like sells door-to-door plumbing, and he's just sort of a couch potato, and then like Jeffrey Jones.
But he's a couch potato who loves TV. He loves TV more than his wife. Like he literally cannot stop
obsessed.
watching TV. He's obsessed with television or watching TV.
And then Jeffrey Jones, who's from hell, preys upon that and sells him this digital, like this big like satellite dish, which they would have had back then. We don't have them really anymore.
No.
And that sucks him into the TV basically. And then Pam Dauber ends up getting sucked in as well, his wife. And then they have to fight to get out. But and they just keep going from show to show to show. Every time they kind of defeat a show, I guess is the best way to say it, or get out of the situation of that show, they get pushed into another show. And then go from there.
Exactly. And these were this leads me into another hit. Can I throw another hit in here?
Yeah, go ahead.
The transition is really good. They licensed so many IPs for this. I assume that they licensed them because they made this show. So they're all going from TV show to TV show, but they made the TV shows like real TV shows. So at one point, John Ritter is sucked onto the set of Three's Company. But they licensed Star Trek. They referred to Star Trek. They referred to Star Wars. They referred to Bugs Bunny. They referred to Driving Miss Daisy, Three's Company, Salt and Peppa. They were sucked into a music video of Salt and Peppa, who played themselves. It was all real things that they were encountering. So all this stuff that back in the day you would have watched, and so it made it really familiar, and it was like, oh my god, he's actually on the set of Three's Company. What an awesome idea. Like
that was a good nod. That was a fun nod.
Like they were totally having fun with this. Like they weren't creating like brand new sitcoms or brand new TV shows. They were all quite familiar. I mean, they were like over the top and different, but they, the fact that they licensed all these things, like they talked about Star Wars at one point. They talked about, I just like, this is awesome. Like all the references were so fun, I thought.
Yeah, it was really well done. There's some other things we'll talk about a little later, but that leads me into a miss.
Okay.
I had two or three misses on this, but I don't have that many misses in the show.
No, I only have two.
One of the ones I'll do right now. It was kind of a hit and miss. It was the Salt and Pepper video.
Okay.
I love that they were in it. I liked that they had a song in it, and it's this full music video, and John Ritter's part of it. He's dressed like Prince, which I thought was funny.
Yes.
Like the Prince from like 92 or whatever. Like it was like that time period when he did Sexy MF and stuff. That was the one they were kind of taking it from. So he looked great. That part was really funny. I just thought that part was really long.
Really long.
Like for what it, like it's almost like they put the entire song in there, like for what it needed to do. Like a minute would have been perfect, but they stretched it out to like almost like, I bet that was like 3 minutes at least.
At least, yeah. 3 or 4, yeah. It was like the full music video, yeah.
And it didn't need, and I don't know, it's because they had Salt and Pepper and they had like a song they wanted to push from it. Like, and I don't know, I'm assuming that got released at some point.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll check my billboards here to see.
Yeah, see if it's in there. Your 1992 billboard, yeah.
But it just was too long. It was almost like, okay, we'll be in this, but we want to be in it longer. Or we're setting this giant music video up, so we might as well I wonder if they even like released that as a music video, because they were because Salt and Pepper were sort of the main focus of that whole segment. Yeah. So I wonder if they just shot it all and then just put the whole video in there. Like, I don't know. And maybe had some extra shots that weren't in the video. Like, I don't know how they did that. It was way too long.
It was
like, because the pacing of this movie, which was a hit for me, which was really fast paced. Nothing stays in one spot very long, and they jump and they jump and they jump. And even if they do stay on something, it worked. This was one that didn't. I just felt in this movie like it was just too long.
Yeah. I completely agree. Like, I don't know if they got Salt and Pepper into the show. Like they brought them in with the contract saying that we will promote this particular song of yours, and so yes, we'll be in it, but you have to show the whole video. But you're right. Like they spent way more time on that segment than they did in any of the other TV shows. Yeah. And it was like, it was interesting, but it just went on too long. I agree.
Yeah. That was the only, like, I had a couple misses, but that was one of the ones that I had that was like, I just felt that was just like weirdly too long and like had no impact to me. Like it was fun that the music video part was fun. It was just too long. Like they just stretched it. So
totally agree. Okay, I'll throw a miss in there too. And it's not a huge miss. Like, I've got 2 misses and neither of them are like deal breakers for me. It was just something that I thought about. So they're Pam Dauber and John Ritter are parents. They have 2 kids. And so the parents are sucked into the satellite dish. They do all their things. The kids don't know where they went. They just thought they left. They're out of the house there until the son actually looks at the TV and sees his dad on TV and realizes that they were sucked into the satellite dish. And the satellite dish is the thing. So now it's the kids, well, primarily the son's goal to get them out. So my miss was the trope of a preteen electronics expert who can rig some sort of electronic device that will do exactly what needs to be done with, like, literally MacGyvering things, like using household materials. And this kid couldn't have been more than like 14 years old, and he somehow made a device that would like reverse the polarity of the satellite dish so that they could suck something out of it rather than push something in it, but somehow like tune it so that it would, I don't know what he did, but I was just like, there are a lot of movies that are like this that have like an incredibly brilliant preteen person who knows how to make things, and I was just like, okay. Like, none of this movie is believable in any way, but but what was happening inside the satellite dish was supposed to be unbelievable because it was in like hell, like it was in a different dimension. But what was happening in the real world should have been at least kind of believable. But I was like, there's no way this 14-year-old kid can like have any like even close to the amount of knowledge that he needs to create a device that will change the polarity of a satellite dish. Anyway, it's just like, okay,
I know it's like there's always like it's like they don't know how to fix it, so they always have this. Yeah, there's some overly brilliant child on there that's like that knows more than any scientist would ever know.
Yes, exactly.
No, I agree. I was like, okay,
and it's not, and it wasn't like his parents were scientists or his parents were inventors, so he could learn from them. His dad sold like plumbing equipment, and Pam Dauber, I think, was like a sales rep for a pharmacy or something. Wasn't that what her job was? She was like
Yeah.
sales. Yeah. So it's not like this kid could have learned like inventing from his parents. Like I don't know where he would have ever gotten this knowledge from. But anyway.
So I was thinking about this too, because in the movie, Eugene Levy's character is one of the executives of this like Hellevision, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And so other than those two, Ritter and Dauber being in it, there's other people in it as well. And they're getting eliminated. They're watching this board and they're getting eliminated almost like levels. Yes. And like you defeat a level and then you keep moving on. But anyways, so Eugene Levy's character ends up they get annoyed by him and they put him in it. So he ends up meeting up with those two. It would have been better for him to somehow have gotten out, given the kids a device or something.
Yes.
Like that would have made more sense to me as opposed to like this kid being like, they didn't need that. They could have just had him somehow get out to save the parents or something. Like maybe he has a change of heart or something. It doesn't take a lot. Like, so, but anyways,
there could have easily been like an alternate remote control that when you press it changes the way things happen. Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense. I was just like, really? And then of course when they show the device that this kid has made, he's stuck on like a little puffy dinosaur sticker that like a 14-year-old kid would have to make you remember that no, this is just a little kid who's created this impossible device. It's got a little cute little dinosaur sticker on it.
That could have been more thought out. I think that little part of it. Like, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make the kids important to the plot, but but they weren't really that important other than like, but they could have been had they gotten something like from the Hellevision through somebody else like Eugene Levy, to help do it. Like, or he could have been with them and helping them to get the parents back or something that would have given him a little bit more to do as well. So,
and if Eugene Levy had come out of Hellevision into the real world, that could have set up a sequel.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
Now he's in the real world and he could fight the people in Hell. Like that would have been a perfect setup for a sequel. Yeah,
I don't know why we're not writers.
I don't know. They should have come to us in the early 90s. We could have had the whole franchise built around this thing. But anyway.
All right, I've got a hit.
Okay.
The one thing we talked a little bit about all the different shows that like are in it, but like a lot of them are spoofed. So they do a lot of commercials in this.
Yes.
So and all of them are twisted in some way. So it'll be like a title of something but it's got sort of a hellish twist to it. So the show's not exactly what it seems. Some of the examples are like, instead of the Maxwell commercial where the guy sits in the chair and looks at this is like a commercial of our time period, and has the big speaker. It's like Max Hell. Like it's like that stuff like that. And Northern Overexposure was one, and 30 something to life. And so they're almost like little sketches. It was very UHF.
Yes.
Like, to me, I don't know what came out first, this or UHF, but
I think UHF did actually.
It's very UHF. Like it's like little like spoofs, like the Conan the Barbarian or Conan the Librarian kind of sort of thing. But it's that kind of feel to it. So that you keep seeing commercials all through it, and they're all these like these twisted versions of shows, which I love, like Meet the Mansons and the Exorcisist, which was good.
So let me interrupt here. I had the exact same thing as a hit. So I wrote down a couple too. They had three men and Rosemary's Baby. Which was one of my favorite. 3 Men and Rosemary's Baby. They had Encyclopedia Satanica. I love that one too. It was like a commercial for like encyclopedias, but instead of Britannica, it was Satanica. See what I'm going here? So funny. Yeah, I thought those were really clever that they all had this like underworld spin on them. but again, they were real things. Like they didn't just make up like new names for things. They spoofed real. So there's all kinds of tons of real world references in this movie, and it's just packed full. Like it is literally the most pop culture centric movie that like might have ever existed. Like it's every scene has something pop culture in it. Yeah.
One of my favorites was there's 2 old men and they both like have like a heart attack separately.
Yes.
And it was for like different strokes.
Yes.
They both had a stroke in different ways. It was like, I know. I actually laughed out loud at that one. I was like, okay, that's really dumb, but it's funny.
Yeah.
And really dark too. Like it was
really dark. Yeah. That was really funny. I just thought those were very clever, and they're just peppered throughout. So like when they would change to a new like scene, a new situation, they'd run a commercial, and this would be the commercial, and they were so fun. I just thought they were really clever.
The writers' room must have had a blast, just like taking a list of all the current shows and commercials, and just like trying to find a twist to them, like that's like the that would fit in this thing, is that they could shoot. So that was really well done.
I totally agree. I thought that was great. I really only have one more hit here.
Okay. I think I got a couple misses and a hit.
I've got one more hit and one more miss.
Okay.
My hit, and probably my biggest hit, is, and if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll see it right behind Loop. This is
one of mine as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the Chuck Jones directed animated segment. So at one point they jump from TV show to TV show. One of the TV shows they jump into is an animated cartoon. So for like 8 minutes or 9 minutes or whatever the thing is, I can't remember. It's all animated. It looks like a Bugs Bunny cartoon because it was Chuck Jones who directed this thing. So it's beautifully done. Like it literally looks like a Bugs Bunny,
like a real cartoon, like of that time period.
Yeah, it's not cheap in any way. Like it literally. No. And it's got the same humor as Bugs Bunny stuff does. So, I mean, things get bonked on the head, things explode, all this. It's quite violent, but cartoon violence. And it's so well done. Like it looks beautiful, and it's really funny, and it's just a great segment. And apparently that was, when it did test screenings, that was the one scene that people raved about, was this Chuck Jones directed, because it's just awesome. It's so fun.
When I first saw it, I was like, wow, they did a really good job making this look like a Chuck Jones sort of like feel and everything. Like, and then I realized like after that he had actually done it. So I was like, okay, but I like the fact that when they did this, they went to him and got him to do this section, because it really feels like something we would have watched as a kid. Yeah. And it's those two doing it. Like that must have been a blast, like just even to voice it. Like it was so much fun. Yeah. That whole section of the show. I could have watched more of it actually. Like it was really
totally.
Well
I could have watched an entire movie of that. Yeah. I think, and what a funny thing to do right in the middle of a live action movie is to cut away to like this huge animated chunk out of nowhere. Like I can imagine people in the theater at the time would have been like, "What? What is?" Like it just. I just thought that was such a fun thing. So I thought
it was so well done. It was like, and again, if you're watching the YouTube version, it's the piece of it's behind me, but it's it looks so cool. Like it was just so well done. Like that is worth the price of admission for this movie if you watch it. Like it's so cool. So
100%. All right, I've got one last miss, and again, this isn't a big miss. This is not really. I mean, it's not really a miss. It's just, and it's more of an insider miss that Loop and I would understand. Not everybody would get this, but back in the like early '90s and in the '80s, also in the '70s. To keep budgets down when they needed to show something that looked really high tech, and they needed a device that would look like a transporter or something that would initiate like a weapon or something like that. What they would use was what's called a switcher. It's a TV device that was. They still use them, but I don't know if they look the same way now. They kind of look like a version, but it's a device that literally the technical director of a TV show sits behind and presses the buttons to change between cameras. So you can dissolve between cameras. They've got like a lever that you can slowly dissolve between cameras, or you push buttons between one camera and another camera. But if you are not in the industry, you wouldn't know what that is. And it looks super high tech because there's a ton of buttons and there are like several levers. So it looks futuristic and high tech. But because Loop and I were in television and went through, broadcasting school, we used this exact device when we were learning how to direct TV shows. Yeah. So to see it, so they used it in this show. The other place that I've seen it was actually in Star Wars, in A New Hope. That's the same. They use a TV switcher to initiate the laser from the Death Star.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So it was a device that was used several times in movies and to look high tech, but if you know what it is, you're like, that's just a TV switcher. That's literally what you switch between your cameras. But they and so they used it for this one too. I'm like, oh, come on. So it's not. I mean, it totally works. It makes sense, but it's just knowing what it is, it makes me laugh. So I had to laugh because they used a TV switcher.
Oh yeah, it's a classic for any of those like sci-fi shows to use because they're just because it looks impressive and it looks kind of cool. So it's like
and all of the buttons are lit. Like they're lit different colors depending on what the button does. So it looks super high tech, but we know exactly what it is. It just makes me laugh when I see it. So they use that.
Okay, I've got two more misses and then I'm done.
Okay.
So this one I talked before about all the spoofs they did in this of different shows. Yeah. The one I did not like was the Wayne's World one. So it was Wayne's it was Wayne's Underworld.
Yes.
And this is a problem I have with any time people spoof a comedy bit because the bit is a comedy bit to begin with.
Right.
And now and I know it was part of pop culture at that time because there were things being said like by regular people based on that sketch. Like it became a phenomenon and the movie became a phenomenon. There's a lot of like swings and all that kind of stuff being said at that time. Loser says what? So the
what?
No, nothing. So they basically, so it was already like, it's funny in itself because that's the sketch. So they did like a thing where both Wayne and Garth are both zombies and it's like Wayne's Underworld. And I'm just like, don't spoof things that are already a spoof. Like that's a spoof in itself of community television.
That's right.
And the kids of that time period that just sort of had nothing better to do in their hometown. So like you're spoofing a spoof. Like, so it just, to me, I thought that was like I don't want to say low hanging fruit. Like, I just know that it was super popular at that time but it was just, I found it kind of irritating, to be honest. Like,
well, and on top of that, they didn't take it far enough. Like it was literally exactly the same as Wayne's World. Like it was the same gags. It was the same. They had the same mannerisms. So it was literally, they might as well have just had Michael Myers or Mike Myers and Dana Carvey come on the show into the movie and just reprise their roles, because it was literally like the set was the same. It didn't go far enough. Like if they went somehow way over the top and made it darker, like underworldy, but it just felt exactly like the original. So yeah, I totally agree. Yeah,
that would have been actually cool if the two of them were in it. And they had like a bit of a twist to it, but it was it was just, I'm not a big fan of people it's like when people do imitations of other comedians. It's like, they're already funny. Like you don't need and they're a comedian in itself. You don't need to do imitations of them. Like it just doesn't really work for me. So that I thought was a bit of a miss. And I understand why they did it, because it was super popular at that time. But that was pretty much it. My last one was it's a very small thing. It's not a deal breaker on this movie, but I thought the end was very abrupt. So because at the end there's a part where he decides he kind of quits his job and he becomes I guess a karate. No, it was fencing, a fencing teacher. Yeah. At the end, and because he can fence. Yeah, John Ritter does. And there was a part where a kid says, "I'm going to go watch TV," and then he just warns him not to. And then the movie's done, and it pauses and it's done. And I'm like, there was it just needed something else to kind of like a really cool ending, or maybe even like a cliffhanger type ending or something, but it just sort of ended. And it was like, it just didn't have like considering everything that happened in the movie, it just like it was a good epilogue, but it needed something else. Like it just seemed like abruptly end.
So here's going back into our writer's room moment. If they had a TV in that studio, in the fencing room where they were fencing, it would have been cool if he had said, the girl said, "Okay, I'm going home to watch TV." And then the TV in the room flashed on and Jeffrey Jones was on that TV, like giving him a...
or something.
Like a quick, "I'm still watching you." Like I still, you know what I mean? You escaped from hell, but we're still watching you. Like there would have been some moment of uh-oh, this isn't done yet. Again, could have set up a sequel, but there should have been some callback to the hell part of it somehow.
Yeah, because I didn't mind the epilogue part. It was like all of a sudden it was just done, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. There's no like that seems like the kind of movie that needs just a little something at the end to kind of like keep it guessing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, is this done or not done or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but other than that, that was like pretty much it for my hits and misses, and that was a very minor miss for me, but it's in a movie that I thought was like pretty good. So, what was your final?
Well, I've got some fun facts.
I like a fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact. Okay, so when this movie came out, it grossed $10.7 million in North America.
That doesn't sound good even for the time.
10.7 million, no, and only 1 million internationally. So 10.7 million in North America, 1 million it grossed internationally for a worldwide total of $12 million. That's what it made. It had a budget of between 15 and 20 million dollars. So it tanked. It tanked pretty big time. It was considered a failure. So it did not do well at all, which is probably why we didn't remember it, because it probably came and went in theaters in like a week. So that's fun fact. It was inspired by, when they set out to make this movie, their elevator pitch was making a movie that was inspired by both The Evil Dead meets Monty Python. That's what they were setting out to do. Okay. So it's Monty Python-y kind of sketches and scenes, but it's The Evil Dead, which is like scary but funny as well. So that's what they were going for, is Evil Dead meets Monty Python in that one. Originally, I mentioned that Tim Burton was supposed to direct this movie. Originally, Robert Zemeckis, Joe Dante, and Joe Johnson were also considered.
All people that I would expect to direct this, yeah.
Exactly, but they were putting money. I mean, they wanted this to be a hit. Like they're getting Robert Zemeckis and all of that. Also, Dan Aykroyd was initially considered for the lead role that John Ritter ended up taking, but because of the enormous cost to create the Hellevision sets, because the sets that they used are really big and detailed, they couldn't afford them. So they decided to go with John Ritter, who was a lot less expensive, and same with Pam Dauber. They were a lot less expensive than Dan Aykroyd. So they spent the money on the sets rather than. But I think it was a good call. Like I think Dan Aykroyd would have been fun, but I think John Ritter was much funnier because he's a bit more of a pratfall kind of guy, because he used to fall in Three's Company all the time. He'd trip over the table and the couch. And
he's really good at physical comedy for sure.
Exactly. And finally, there is potentially a TV adaptation of this show coming in July of 2025. So just literally 8 months ago, Hulu announced that they would be developing this show with Josh Gad and Andrew Rannell headlining the series. So Josh Gad potentially being involved with a reboot as a TV series. So we could still potentially. I mean, that was only 8 or 9 months ago that they announced this. So it's quite possible that we will see a TV adaptation or a reboot of Stay Tuned for TV, which I think could be kind of funny if they do one episode per TV show. Do you know what I mean? They bounce between TV shows, and each episode is a different TV show that they bounce to. I think that could be kind of funny, and make it a little more scary, maybe, because they're in hell. I think that TV adaptation could work for this, and especially if Josh Gad is involved. I think that could be kind of funny. So it's quite possible that all this sequel talk that we're mentioning could actually come up. It might happen.
Yeah, it totally makes sense that they this is a kind of a cool concept, really. Yeah. It was well thought out, but
I thought so.
Okay, we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah. So what's your overall take?
Mine is that this is again, like I said, a hidden gem. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. It had the feel of like a Back to the Future or a Beetlejuice or a Gremlins or something. It just had that sort of magical feel to it. Yeah. I thought it was a great plot. I thought it flowed really well. Special effects were pretty good for its time. Again, with the animated section was kind of a surprise piece to it for me. I think this is rewatchable and and again, it reminds me of UHF a little bit. It has that total feel to it. So again, I would recommend anyone watching this I'm going to watch it again and again, at some point. I really, really enjoyed this movie.
Totally agree. I 100% agree. And I also think that this is a movie that gets better with age. And I could see why in 1992 it didn't do well, because everything that they're spoofing was happening right then and there. And so
Yeah.
people were like, okay, yeah, but what they're spoofing is not as good as what's actually on the air. So I could see why it tanked, because it was a bit too on the nose. But now, all these years later, like 34 years later, now it's super nostalgic, because
Yeah.
now we're seeing all of those shows that were on, even the Wayne's World one, as you know, as it's not as great as the others, but it's still fun to see it because we haven't seen Wayne's World in a long time. So everything that they're doing now is so nostalgic, and that's what I mean, like with all the references to Star Wars and Star Trek and Driving Miss Daisy and all of that stuff from the 80s, from the late 80s, early 90s, is so nostalgic now that it's like aged like a fine wine.
Yeah,
it literally has gotten better over the years, just because it's so nostalgic. So yeah, I think it will do well with our generation to watch it now. I think people will enjoy it much more now than they did then.
It's unfortunate, like it's a movie that's not like, I mean, we ended up getting off Amazon, but it's not one that you see all the time. Like it's not, and like you're saying earlier, like it's just not, you never just flip on the TV and see this playing. And it's unfortunate because it is like a solid movie. Like, it's
like pure escape. Like it's
Like it kind of sucks you in like right off the beginning, and you're like, it's really well done and really fast paced, and it's I don't know, I just thought it was a great film start to finish.
100%. Thumbs up for us.
All right. So coming up, we've got one more episode, and then we've got our big like 100th episode, which is pretty huge. So we'll that's coming up in a few. So looking forward to. I can't believe we're almost at 100. Like I'm still kind of like. I was hoping we were making 100 last season. That did not happen.
We've talked about making 100, I think, for the last 2 seasons. Oh, we're definitely getting 100%. We're gonna get there. No,
this season for sure we're getting to 100.
Sure. We're literally 2 away. We're good. We're good now. We're good now.
Yeah. So stupid. And then we do 100, and then it just back to normal again. So
yeah, exactly. Then it'll be another 7 years before we hit 200.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah. I think we can make 200 in like 2 more seasons.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
But it's also not possible.
Okay. Oh. We'll try.
Yeah.
If we did it weekly, maybe we could do it. But
yeah, it's possible.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. You can always go on our socials. If you have which we've done, if you have a suggestion for a movie we should do, send it to us, and we'll look at it and see if it's possible. Like there's been a couple good ones that we've had suggestions of. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Loop and Larry, Guardians of Geek.
Bye-bye.
Produced by Matthew C. Loop and Lawrence Simner. A Loop and Larry production.
Bueller.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Bueller.
Bad news. Fog is getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger.
Inconceivable.
Brian's right. It's an elf.
Wax on.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Oh, Captain, my captain.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Wax off.